Hey, welcome.
Hey, Lottie.
This is where it all happens.
Yeah. So, show us around.
Yeah, for sure.
Amsterdam. Where are we? Overtoom.
On the Overtoom, yeah.
Overtoom.
Yeah, right in the centre of Amsterdam, which is kind of an unusual place for a robotic startup to be. But we also obviously have the software and the hardware, so it's great to be somewhere where software engineers also want to come and work. So, yeah, and you can see up here this is our very first prototype.
So what is this room? Like, is this like a specific...
This is the everything. No, this is the lobby, but everything happens here. So depending on what's happening on the day, we could have testing, which we have now. But if we are manufacturing, we'd also create like a huge manufacturing line here. So it's really flexible. Or you can see behind you here's like a replica construction site.
What are these points or QR codes?
Yeah, so they're for our computer vision pipeline. So anytime we go on a construction site, we sticker everywhere on the construction site and then take hundreds of photos. And then we upload them, take them back to the office, and then we can reconstruct the whole construction site, which we'll show you on our on the screens.
That was built with robots?
This is super cool because it's a development just from today. Yeah, this is built by a robot, and today is the first day we've been able to build a corner.
Oh, wow.
So you can really see how we might actually be able to build a house now, or at least our own meeting rooms.
And so this is like just being built today, and then by the morning this will all be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And retest again.
Retest again.
Wow.
Yeah.
High-speed iteration, as we've learned a lot of today.
What are these?
So,
Are they
what
sewing machines or?
Yeah, so we our 3D printer farm keeps expanding. So these are often running overnight, over the weekends as well. And then if you have a look on the robots, you can see the kind of parts that they will produce.
Okay. So these are parts for the robot?
Exactly.
Okay.
And a lot of the weather protection for the electronics.
The 3D printing.
Super cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And they're all controlled from afar.
Wow.
And so you were saying that this is the first.
Yeah.
Did it have a name?
No, they have names now. They were just kind of like C1, and then we thought it became a bit Star Wars, so we've come up with some names now.
Okay. Very nice.
No, because you need to kind of pick the right one at the right time.
Okay.
You can't sort them in advance. And
are you doing it manually or does it do it?
It does it hands-on.
Oh wow.
So it should.
So it's picking up.
Classic demo. It's looking for a brick.
Oh no, brick.
So if I want to use that down-facing camera to find the brick, pick it up. And now to actually measure how it's grasped it. So if it's actually askew or if it's to the left and to the right, you'll correct that while placing so it ends up in the right spot.
So does he have? Is he like scanning where he is with the wall build up, or how does
You said it's a male.
Huh?
So it uses a kind of a normal camera. It's industrial, but it's not a depth camera or anything. It's a normal visible light camera to look at the markers you see on the wall there. And before we build a wall somewhere, we take a bunch of pictures, throw them into our software, creates a 3D reconstruction of the environment, and then the camera on the base, the back end, uses those markers to localize itself. And then by proxy, it knows where they want it.
Very cool.
Amazing.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah. Where should we go?
So you can see here there's what we call wagons, so the base, ready to have some cranes fitted. So all the wagons are the same, depending on whether it's going to be the main robot or the sub wagons. But then you can see these ones are going to be cranes because they've now got the leveling legs on, which are only for the main robot. And yeah, let's go see where they were made.
Wow, that's a real
Going
workshop.
on down here. You can see some partially made robots here, all in different stages. So obviously 2 will be next to each other. Anna at the back. Cutting some auger. So this will be for our refill station. And then Koen working on some electronics, crimping some cables.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful stuff we have. Is this, like shiny things like this.
Is it like electronics panel?
Yeah, so we have this is like part the beginning of the heart of the robot. So it's a drawer containing all the electronics. This is just the start. For example, here you see these parts. This is with a pretty powerful battery, 48 volts. So it can melt basically anything. So we have a big fuse here. So now I'm assembling these battery monitors and the fuse is just one part of this whole system basically. Yeah. And then we have a distribution board here. These are switches. This is actually the brain of this wagon itself.
Okay.
So it's basically a full computer right in there. It's like a PC computer. And that just manages like all the communications between the wagon, the wheels, how it's driving, and then the Ethernet and the rest of the system. So they can send stuff to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically we just make one by one in batches. So this is a one batch of 4.
How do you learn how to do something like this?
Just basically show. Yeah, it's explained by show and tell. How do you say it?
Yeah.
In practice.
Trial and error.
Trial and error, but also just we make one together. Then you kind of know. You make a lot of pictures because you can get quite confused sometimes. Or you think you remember, and then you're like, oh, what was that? I mean, simple things like the order of this. I mean, you can mess it up because it's all angular. So if you do it like this, it looks exactly the same. And halfway through, you notice that you started the wrong way. You know, that's simple things like that. I think just
experience.
Yeah, basically.
And also, as we go along, we kind of productize the manufacturing a bit more. So the first time it will be like really not very designed for assembly, and then slowly but surely we try and make more of the things outsourced so that it's simpler to actually assemble. So
It
like
becomes more repetitive.
yeah, like the crimping of the cables.
So these cables, it's a whole process because every little wire needs a metal part crimped on it very accurately, because otherwise you could pull it and it breaks apart. Then you have to insert all those in the right order into this I say plug, and then you do it on 2 sides, and then for every wagon there's like many of these, and now we outsource some of those. So they just come in. Sometimes they're even labeled. It's beautiful, and then it's more just building it together, basically. But,
And that
Do you know how many pieces does it consist of?
that's a good question, actually. I have no idea. I mean,
A lot.
We have a BOM, so it's like a bill of materials.
Yeah.
So it's an Excel, basically. Just use that.
Yeah, cool.
over 1,000, I reckon.
Yeah, I think NASA's already also still using Excel for their BOMs. And it's like, gazillion. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe one of the engineers will know.
We'll get there.
I have
Okay.
no idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah, and this is like part of the end effector that's being used out there. So this will have a hopper, a gripper on the end.
Okay, wow.
We have our desk area where mechanical and software engineers all work. So you can see mechanical engineer Niall here designing, redesigning some hopper. And then here's our digital simulation we call Portico.
So this software is like where you simulate what actually happens on site
Yeah, exactly.
and control the robots from
We can simulate ahead of time, but we can also connect to the robots and then control them from here. So I can click this button, and then I can scrub a timeline, and I can see a simulation of what would happen.
Oh, wow.
This is the simulated area that's been your backdrop for the
exactly.
for the whole
This
day.
is-
Oh, yes.
But we can also do things like go and look at walls that we previously built. So this is the corner wall that we
That was down
built
there.
Just
downstairs.
down there.
Yeah, okay.
I can go through and look
Oh,
at
each brick has a location and all of the data.
Yeah.
So this is where Sebas basically done all the software testing before then moved into the hardware, as he was saying
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah, and the whole idea is the more sophisticated your software stack is, the cheaper you can make the hardware and the more flaws of the hardware you can compensate for.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so that's why this stack is sort of sophisticated relative to a lot of kind of traditional robotics.
And this is where, like, if someone was on site, they would be operating behind the screen here. And
Yeah, exactly. We take a laptop on site. Hopefully one day it will just be an iPad or a phone, and there'll be like 3 buttons, play, pause, stop. And yeah, you can just wander around a building site and watch the robot do the job.
sounds simple. Looks simple. Cool. All right.